This is the way I'm managing it. Hi, Mary. I hope you're feeling better this week. I think last week you were under the weather, weren't you? Welcome in, everyone. It's time for another vampire story night. We're going to be reading Varney the Vampire. And this one goes to the camera as well. And now we should be on all of our major platforms. At some point I'm probably going to be on some more. But for now, I think these three will be enough. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're having the most delightful day possible. Hi, Ryan. Hello, Stephanie. Hey, Mary. Hello, Kelly. It's always good to see you guys. Come on in. We're going to have a great time. Hi, Eric. Hello, Carrie. Welcome in, everybody. Everybody's just starting to get here on all of our different platforms. We'll begin reading the story in 20 minutes. So if you're just now joining us, 20 minutes from now, we're going to be reading a classic vampire story, Varney the Vampire. It's from the 1840s, 50 years before Dracula was written. This was the English story that Bram Stoker would have grown up reading, and it inspired so many things you think you know about vampires. It's absolutely amazing to read. Hello, Kalamazoo. Welcome in. And as always, for my TikTok audience, whenever you give me taps, I will perform magic. So we get to 50,000 hearts. I will do some magic for you. If you've never seen me do any of my magic, then this is just a down payment. See, it's still there. I like to do things slow. Most magicians are always in a big hurry. But I think if you slow down, it makes it perhaps just a little bit more fun. What do you think? It's almost 1 in the morning, and here you are joining me. Ryan, I'm happy to make those videos, and if I can get my city in line, I can make a lot more videos. That is definitely a thing that I'm going to be working on. Right now, I'm working on changing things, but my city doesn't want me producing content around how to fix homes and other things, apparently. At least the building and planning department doesn't. I'm doing very well, and thank you for asking. Can I do another magic trick? Yes, as soon as this number gets to 50,000. Or I tell you what, if your kids just happen to be watching for this instant, you can skip ahead if you throw me a galaxy. Aw, thank you so much, Slim. That's too kind. Thank you. What's going on, Sherry? Well, I'm about to be reading from Varney the Vampire. This is a story we'll be reading in, what, let's see, 18 minutes. It's from the 1840s. It's 50 years older than Dracula. Thank you for all the gifts. You guys are amazing. Your dad owns the Murphy House there close to me. The Murphy House. That sounds familiar. I think that's over in the Historic District. I do believe that's where that is. Thank you so much, YouTube. What should you look for in an apartment? You're young. A room that you can live in around other people. I think one of the worst things we do when we're young is we try to isolate and have our privacy. And I think there's a certain amount of social that's good for humanity, at least in my opinion. Try not to isolate yourself too much. An apartment that has common areas or something like that you can be around other people, in lobbies or common amenities. Those, I think, really make a lot of sense. Running water and a place to cook, yeah. How's the mayor thing going? Well, we're making progress. So yesterday was our city council study session. I went in and did some. I'm going to have a lot more updates on the mayoral run very soon. So there's going to be a petition. I'm hoping to have it all sorted out by next week that we're going to start gathering signatures on. The petition is more important than the mayoral run, but the mayoral run is what we're going to use to get publicity for the petition and the vote direction that we need. What was the cholesterol levels? James. Wow, just coming right out and asking for the secrets. My first house that I redid was in Van Buren. My next few houses were in Fort Smith and what's my petition concerning? So the petition is to change Fort Smith, which is the largest city in Arkansas that's ran by an administrator, to a city like every other city where it's ran by a mayor. So it's to change our form of government to the way all the grown-up cities in the world run instead of the way our weird city runs. So to eliminate a city administrator position and make the city actually ran by the mayor. Right now the mayor in Fort Smith has no power. All the best to you. You helped me get my LLC order off your work ethic. I have a degree in campaign management, so if you ever need any online or phone banking, I'm happy to help. Well, I'd be happy to chit chat with you if you want to send me a message. I probably have some questions you might be able to help with. What about the gold underwear? Well, next time I do a packing video, we can see what I put in it that next time. Oh, Brian, you're interested in seeing the beautiful Jennifer. If you wait briefly, I assure you she will arrive. It is the privilege of a beautiful lady to keep us all waiting anxiously for her arrival. Thoughts on 10% credit card caps? I think this is a terrible idea. Our administration is known for many wild ideas. Price regulation, including regulation of interest rates, does not help economies. Economies are helped by productivity and free trade and things like that. So doing a cap on 10% is going to make it to where it's almost impossible for you to get a credit card. Credit card companies won't be able to afford to, except to the very wealthiest among us, they won't be able to give credit cards. Alicia says, you're very smart and well-spoken. I think you'd make a great mayor. I support the vampire movement. Well, thank you very much, Felicia, and I think I'll make a good mayor too, or I wouldn't be doing it. What? 10% is not low. For a credit card, 10% is extremely low interest rate. Most credit cards are going to be closer to 17, 18%, and some of them will be into the 20s. And that's important if credit cards are going to be given to people that are not likely to pay them back. If they're going to give people with bad credit, the interest rate has to be high enough to make enough money to make it worth it. So they make money off the 4 people to pay for the 5th person that doesn't pay them back. And those interest rates are, they're high, but that's what's necessary for them to make it work. You have a 12% now. That's a very good card. So you're going to have a very good interest rate. Mine's at 5. Shay, you do not have a 5% interest rate credit card. Like, that's just not a thing that you have unless you're like, perhaps if you have a credit card that's set up to a line of credit with some type of collateral tied to it, but an unsecured debt at 5% you do not have. That's not a thing you have. So quit BSing. Yeah, that's a lie. You can always tell the liars. Hello, Jonathan. Welcome in. How did my doctor appointment go? Pretty well. I was actually really high on iron. I've had high ferritin, which I was suspicious, and my wife was suspicious I might have high ferritin, which means I have way too much iron in my blood, and that's from my wife has cooked on cast iron skillets for years, and after we adopted the carnivore diet, we continued to use cast iron skillets. So I'm going to be using non-cast iron skillets, and I went and gave some blood today so that I could lower the overall iron that I have and get myself down to a healthier iron level. Only eat meat, yes. Meat and high-fat items like butter or high-fat dairy high-fat animal products, eggs. I eat lots and lots of eggs. Oh, thank you so much, Alan. Thank you. Did I get dental work? I'm not going to talk about my fangs right now. Maybe later. Ryan, to not do credit cards because I don't like debt, but it's a necessary thing, I guess. So if I was hiring somebody to help me work on a house and the person said, I don't use hammers because I smashed my thumb with a hammer once, or I knew a guy that smashed his thumb and I just don't like it, I couldn't hire that person to work on a house. Credit cards are a tool. Debt is a tool. We use it to build things and to accomplish things. Now, if I give a hammer to a 3-year-old and they run around just hitting things, it's a destructive force. If you aren't mature enough to handle your credit like a tool and use it in a proper way, it's going to be a problem for you. Absolutely. But it's not the credit card's fault. You can ask me a landlord question, absolutely. Ooh, everyone. Ah, she's here. And she's an absolute vision. You cannot imagine how beautiful she looks right now.
Oh, they can see the back of my dress.
Oh, can they?
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at the back of that dress. Isn't that fabulous? Welcome in, darling.
It's almost chilly.
It's almost chilly. You need me to turn the heat up in here?
It's just because what I'm wearing, I'm sure.
Here you go.
Thank you.
It'll get warmer now.
Let me set this up so you can message everyone while we're live.
All right. You go ahead and set that up.
So let's see.
What's the hardest part about starting a carnivore diet? Good question. The hardest part is the withdrawals. You are addicted to plants, and plants, something you will experience withdrawals when you come off of the fiber and you come off of plants. It's going to be like anybody coming off of anything. You are going to have a bad few days. The important thing is to make sure you get enough fat, so enough butter or tallow or some kind of animal-based fat, and enough salt. Those are the two things most people mess up. If you get too low on salt, you'll get muscle cramps, or you'll get like twitchy eyeballs or heart palpitations. There's weird symptoms you'll get from not having enough salt. You have to have so much more salt than you're used to having to be on carnivore.
Sometimes it might be like the twitchiness might be needing some magnesium.
Right. Well, a good mineralized salt will give
Yeah.
you several different minerals, not just table salt, but. So Ryan, you messed up. You struggled with the thought of being in debt because you messed up a credit card at 18 and it took you a while to clear it up. That's, again, you smashed your finger with a hammer and now hammers are scary to you, but it's something you can get past. I understand.
Just got them on all three.
Oh, wow.
He's my darling one.
Well, too much of anything is bad as well. Yes, you need a lot of salt. I'm drinking salt water right now as a carnivore. I drink several glasses of salt water every day. I took a salt tablet actually earlier because I was feeling a little queasy after I gave blood. You need a lot more salt than what you had, but too much of anything, too much water is bad for you.
Well, I'm so excited that everybody's here. We're on 3 platforms today.
Right.
And I'm just so super excited. I have gotten contacted by Hot Chocolate Design.
Right.
And they're going to send me a pair of shoes to show all of you. And I'm just so excited.
Why would you be so excited about a pair of shoes?
Because I love hot chocolates. I do.
What's so great about them?
They are so comfy.
I'm so skeptical about this.
So I brought these in. They're my little bat ones. They have all kinds of cute little designs. But this one's not in their showcase anymore. I didn't find it. But the bat... Oh! I have a flying bat.
Let's just throw that on the ground here. You're so excited.
No, this part comes off the shoe and you can stick it on your lapel. It's so cute, the little bat. So, I just wanted to share that they have picked me out to do an affiliate thing. And they're sending me some shoes. And I'm just so excited because these are super comfy and they're super cute. And when you get some of their bigger shoes, can you really beat this box? It's like a piece of cake and it even has a birthday candle.
The box comes with a candle.
The box comes with a candle, see?
Okay. As a marketing expert, I approve of this message. I do think that putting in the birthday candle with the box is probably a good idea.
Hello.
Thank you so much, Mark.
No, he's not mayor yet.
Not yet. I will be, though. I will be.
Oh, we could just have, elect him just for all the vampires anyway. Just be the mayor of the vampires in Fort Smith.
That would be a much smaller
Yeah, okay.
amount of responsibility. I suppose that makes me less work to do.
Thank you.
You're doing 14 days free of sugar. It's hard
Nice.
not going. So one of the most important things, Harper, is to not do anything sweet as well. If you're doing artificial sugars, then you're not going to really make a lot of difference for yourself. I mean, it's not going to hurt to cut the calories, but you'll do a lot better if you get off the artificial sweets and anything that has a sweet twang to it.
Thank you. We are married. We just don't wear the wedding rings.
Hi, Frank.
Yeah, for those of you who are joining us on TikTok, last night we were in a city council study session meeting, so that was...
It was hours and hours and hours. Yeah, it was late too. But that said, it was very controversial. My city decided 2 years ago to buy some extremely expensive water slides to expand our water park that the taxpayers pay for. And they're still sitting on the ground in pieces, not put together, and they're wanting millions of more dollars that they don't have to continue the project that they didn't have the money to start with. And nobody's very happy about that for obvious reasons.
Taxpayer dollars. Bye!
Yeah, they were just spending like it's just magic money.
That tends to happen sometimes with people in charge. Yes, it's very frustrating.
Whatever asked, do you honestly believe you're a vampire? And my question to you is, do you honestly believe you're a human?
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, Northern Indiana. Welcome in. Yeah, Tammy, you caught us live. Welcome in.
My favorite cut of meat, I think, right now is the picanha. It is very wonderful. It usually comes in a triangle, but it is a piece, I guess, of top round steak, basically. And it has this really magnificent fat cap.
Yes. So one of the most important parts of the carnivore diet, you have to change your eating habits on meat. You can't do like sugar-cured hams, and you can't do really lean meats like most of you like I'm going to get 93.7 hamburger meat. You want higher fat. You want like 85-15 or 80-20. The fat is a big part of the diet.
I usually get 80-20 because I feel like with the 85-15, it kind of, too much of it liquefies in the skillet, and I'm like, all that good fat's just hanging out the bottom of the skillet. How long have we been married? We are celebrating 25 years together.
It's amazing.
So our children are in their 20s.
I have no idea who Dark Wave is, but Greg wants to know if I listen to them. So I guess that means no, unless I listen to them without knowing. You swear you've seen me somewhere before. Well, possible. Possible. Are your children vampires? We don't know yet. We'll find out later.
I have my suspicions. We look like we're in our 30s. Oh, bless you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Other people's money. That's exactly right. Other people's money. Hi, guys.
Yes, I think that kind of happens sometimes with politicians, is they will sometimes, depending on where they're coming from in life, maybe get a little bit...
Well, so different people show love in different ways.
Out of touch.
And this is just this is a thing. So like for me, I like to touch. So I like to touch to show love, right? That's the way I show love. Some people, and we know people like this, like my mother, is a gift giver. And when she's giving you something, that's a way of her saying, I really appreciate it and I love you. And the same is true for our politicians. They show love in different ways. And I think some politicians want to feel like they're giving something to the community. Like, here's this awesome slide for all the kids to enjoy. Isn't it going to be great? Everybody's going to love me now. And they feel like they're loving their city through their gift giving. And I can
didn't think about it like that.
I can understand where that would come from, regardless of whether it actually is fiscally responsible or even if it makes sense. It's just the way that that politician is responding, and then some people are much more, like I'm not a gift giver. That's not really the way that I show appreciation and love towards other people. So that just feels like they're just wasteful. But for them, it's their way of speaking love to the people.
Campaign going for mayor. Well, it's at the very early stages. The run for mayor isn't till later in the year.
That'll be more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the most important part of this campaign is about to begin, and it's nothing to do with the mayoral campaign specifically, but the mayor campaign is going to be what helps to make it possible, which is a petition. We're going to start to change our government from a city administrator form where the mayor has no power and the city administrator actually runs the city, to a mayoral form of government. The last time our city voted on this was 1978. I'm going to have to get 2,600 signatures. That's what I'm going to be focused on for the near term. But the vampire mayor gives me plenty of press to be able to get the attention necessary to get everything signed.
We did wish to attend the vampire ball in New Orleans. However, fiscally speaking, it was no go for us.
It was a bad timing.
Yes, and we were just bogged down with work at the time. So.
We were closing on a house on a refinance, and we were scheduling a trip to Turkey for me, and we just had too many other things, so I could not make it.
So, would we like to go to a vampire ball in New Orleans? Absolutely yes. Will we be able to make it this year? Maybe. It's still kind of early in the year to be able to tell how the year's going to go.
Hot chocolate shoes are amazing. My wife absolutely loves them.
Yes.
They don't make any for me, though.
Maybe someday they will launch
Maybe.
a line for snazzy gentlemen.
I want to have wingtips in the hot chocolates.
I think they have some wing-tipped hot chocolates.
Yeah.
Or the Oxfords. I think they have some Oxfords.
Oxfords.
What hair products do I use? I am trying to do the Curly Girl method, and I think most of the products that I have purchased are Curly Girl approved. But I've been trying to go for the cheaper end of the Curly Girl approved products because, when you're paying $30 a bottle for stuff, that adds up. So I've been going on the lower end. So I got some Cantu because $5 a bottle for different products is a lot more in my price range than $30. When you use so much when you're a curly girl. So much product.
So someone wants to know how to get started in real estate if they know absolutely nothing. I recommend the board game Cash Flow. You can find it on my TikTok showcase. It is amazing. It's literally how we learned to get started. It is the thing we did. I was zero interest in real estate investing. I played that game one time. The next day I called a bank and asked if I could do the thing that we did in the game, and they said yes. And a few weeks later we bought our first investment property. I mean, it was maybe 6 or 8 weeks after playing that game.
I just want to say that, we have a person in here asking if we would vote for a vampire politician and why. And I would like to say that vampires are a lot like people. There's going to be very many different kinds of backgrounds that people or vampires come from. And it's one of those things more so where you should get to know your politician, vampire
rather than
or
just
human, as
decide
good as you
what
can.
category they are and vote based on a category.
Yeah.
If you're voting based on categories, like that's a woman, I'm voting for that person, you're getting taken advantage of, period. Like if you vote by category, somebody is manipulating you. So you shouldn't vote by category.
What are your cholesterol results?
So my cholesterol was high because I pigged out on some butter before I went. So it came in about 330, which for eating a half stick of butter before I went to the doctor's office, that's about where I would expect it to be.
He didn't think about it the morning.
I forgot I was going for the blood test, so I ate a whole bunch more butter, which normally you should be fasted when you take that. Well, last time I did one was about a year ago, and I'd been carnivore for a year and a half, and I was fasted when I did it, so I was on a fasted state. I hadn't had anything to eat for like 10 hours prior or 12 hours prior, and it came in at a perfect 230. So
I'm going to go get mine Monday, and I will try to remember to fast.
Yep.
But that's, if you have ever clocked your triglycerides, if you have a person that has one of those cardio checks where they can just check the blood over and over, you could note that your triglycerides vary a lot, whether you have eaten in the last couple hours or not, or if you've been fasted for 8 hours. It goes kind of in a curve, and that curve can vary a lot. So if you just ate and you have your blood tested, your triglycerides are going to be way higher than if you have fasted for 8 hours.
Right, and to be clear, like we're talking about 75 to 80 point swings are very common. And blood, like cholesterol, you used to have to be fasted or they wouldn't give you a cholesterol test. The statin companies pushed for that to be changed because they wanted more people on statins. So they started testing people unfasted, which led to a great increase in the amount of people that tested high for cholesterol and more people on cholesterol medication.
Thank you. Did we tell the government to fix the roads?
So
Last night wasn't really that kind of a meeting.
yeah, that was
They were busy talking about water slides.
water slides. Yep.
So it is after 7 o'clock, and we are going to be reading Varney the Vampire. This was written in the 1860s,
1840s.
1840s.
50
40
years. 50 years.
50 years.
Before Dracula. Look at you.
I guess I was thinking Carmilla.
Yeah, Carmilla was
Carmilla's
in the
in the
1860s. Yep.
So, wonderful book. This was done in the Penny Dreadful style. Are we already time for magic? It is.
Oh, did I have to do some magic
You
before we
do.
even start?
So this was done in the Penny Dreadful style. So it was like little bitty pocket books that you could have and you could read at the train station, here or there, everywhere, in tiny little things. Kind of the comic book of the day, if you will. This is the second volume. We are almost 3/4 of the way through the vampire story here, Varney the Vampire.
All right, so we're at 50,000 likes, every 50,000 hearts that appear on the Tickety Talk. We will perform some magical illusions for you. So this is really more of a mechanical thing. I've decided I'm going to start marketing this product. I think that we can make some money off of this. So if you've never seen one of these before, it's because it's my own special invention. But the way it works, I call this the Fed, okay? So I can take this dollar bill here, and I put it in just like so, okay? And now, just like the Fed, we're going to put the little press on, just like that, and take a look at this. So as we go, that's right. What do you think? Would you be interested in a machine that can do that for you? Because I think I can sell the hell out of these. What do you think, dear?
Oh, I think it would sell very well. Do we eat Greek yogurt? We have in the past. Lately I've been going to my local little shop that has, like organic stuff. And I've been picking up a heavily probiotic, unflavored yogurt. Has like 50 different probiotics in it.
Somebody wants 14 of them right now. Awesome.
14.
Excellent.
Cha-ching.
That's how the
So
politicians
exciting.
start to feel. They have that money printer and they're like, I can do whatever I want.
Money printer goes brrrr. But so exciting. But one more time before I gotta show you my hot chocolates with the bats. Next week it'll be something else. But I got the bats. Super exciting.
All right, so we're starting Varney the Vampire. I will be reading the parts for Varney. Do I have any parts in the first chapter? I see that I do. No, wait, that was the last chapter.
you do. You have a few.
So I'll be reading the parts for Varney. Excuse me. I'll be reading the parts for the
Colonel.
The Colonel.
The Colonel.
Definitely not Varney.
Yes.
Definitely not a vampire. I'll be reading the parts for the Colonel. She'll be reading the other parts for you. The story right now, we're joining the Colonel as he's staying with some people in a boarding room, basically.
Boarding house.
In a boarding house, because he wanted to stay something fancier than a hotel, because he's, a well-to-do and important and wealthy individual from India, and he has taken an interest in the young lady.
Have you ever heard that term before we started reading this book?
I had not heard. That's a new
So
term to
a
me.
nabob was a gentleman who went to India for the service, for the military, and did very well and came back with his money to England.
I see. So he came back wealthy, and now he's interested in this young lady, and has been wooing the young lady, who has been wooing him right back, like, I can't wait to spend all your money. Basically, anything for you, old man.
Well, the mother and the young lady are kind of in cahoots on this.
Yes, the mother's pushing it like Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell.
Oh, hell.
Oh, did I say that outside?
Goodness.
I said that out loud. Oops. Whoops. Some things never change.
Anyway, before you get us in more trouble.
Okay, sorry.
We will start reading. Thank you, everyone. Mrs. Meredith's arrival was very opportune, for it broke off the interview, and Marguerite descended to the parlor where her mother, she knew, would repair the moment that she had freed herself from her dress. Margaret was now left alone for a few moments. She felt all the exultation of success in a strategy, and all the exhilaration of spirits that such a prospect of wealth and riches floating before her eyes, and all the natural conquests upon such possessions would give rise to. "I shall be rich," she thought. I shall not only be rich, but very rich. I know that I shall. Well, he is old, no matter. Better be an old man's darling than a young man's prisoner with job. Yes, I shall know how to use wealth. I shall be able to spend a little of his countless hoards, and he will not thwart me, I am sure. He will be too fond, too doting, by far. I shall be indulged like a spoiled child, I am sure. Marguerite smiled at the thought of what length the colonel might not be induced to carry his fondness for her. He will not set any value upon what he will give me. I am sure that he will give me all that I ask. I have but to ask him for what I want, and he must comply. I am sure, oh, he is too easy, too quiet, and generous to make a moment's hesitation. The colonel, too, was left to his reflections, but as to what they were we know not. He sat long, silently gazing at the fire. Mrs. Meredith now entered the apartment, and looking at her daughter, she said, "Ah, something has been said, Margaret. I can see by your eye, and that the colonel has said something to you. Am I not right, my dear?" "Oh, yes, Ma, you are right." "Well, my love, and what did he say? I am just simply unaliving with curiosity." "Well, it will be quite impossible to do that, but he has been quite explicit enough, without any hesitation at all, or any reserve, quite candid and open." "Has he offered?" "Oh, yes, he wishes for your consent, for I told him that I could not possibly decide without your consent and countenance. He did not disapprove of that, only he wished to propitiate you in his favor, and begged me to let him have the satisfaction of knowing that he had my good wishes, and that I could look upon him in a warmer light than a mere friend."
Whoops. Sorry. I didn't do it.
"And which I hope you did." "Oh, yes, Ma. I let him imagine that I was not indifferent to his good opinion, but at the same time that I would not commit myself, but left him to infer a good deal. I think I know, Ma, how to manage such an affair. Well, I may say very well." "Oh, exactly, my love. I was sure that you would." "Oh, yes, Ma, I should think that I did, for when I found that he had proceeded a certain distance, I was resolved that he should speak out plump at once. And when I found he paused, and I paused too, and he was compelled to explain, but he betrayed no unwillingness or anything like hesitation at all, but he has fairly proposed himself to me." "And you have not committed yourself?" "Oh, no, not in the least." "Very well, dear, but be cautious not to do so, because I must have some conversation with Mr. Twizzle, so that we may proceed in a safe manner, and not commit ourselves in any ways we shall repent afterwards." "How do you mean?" "Why, child, you would not marry the colonel if he was not a rich man." "Not exactly, though I must admit, Ma, he's a very nice man, and I should be entitled to a widow's pension if nothing more, and that I might not have under some circumstances. Even you yourself have been left worse off, you see." "Why, yes, my child, but circumstances alter cases. I had a better prospect when I first married, else I would not have done so. You may depend upon it. However, we can always retrace our steps, and he cannot. but I will get Mr. Twizzle to come and see into matters a bit for us." "Well, Ma, you shall do as you think fit. Only do take care not to throw away any good chance because you have greater hopes." "Has he said anything about his property?" "Oh, no, not a word, except it was to imitate it was large, and that he had won it very heartily with great danger, but he did not say what it consisted of. Oh, of course I could not ask." "Oh, dear, no." "But he intimidated that he would keep a carriage and a country house as well as a town house, besides several other matters, which makes it plain enough that he has been used to plenty. Besides, as he spoke to me in describing some scenes in India, he appeared so much animated that I am sure that he must be what he appears to be, and what he says he is." "Ah, well, I think myself it is all quite right, and that we shall have nothing to repent thereof. But we will let all go on, but the naming of the day, that must not be named, for if we do we shall not be able to retract." "Oh, no, we shall not have any occasion to do that, I think. But I dare say that he will speak to you tonight, as there is time at supper especially." "Oh, no doubt. You may as well retire early, so that you may be absent, and that will give us greater liberty to talk than if you were present, my dear. I wish Mr. Twizzle were here, but it can't be helped, and when he does come I must have some conversation with him, and I must, in the meantime, learn what I can for him to inquire about afterwards." Thus resolved, Marguerite went to bed early, leaving her mother to attend upon the Colonel, who sat looking at the fire without any change of posture since the last time that he was seen by the girl. But Mrs. Meredith caused him to break the steady gaze and deep thought he was indulging in. "I hope that you have been quite well, Colonel, since I left."
Yes, quite well, Miss Meredith.
"What would you choose for supper?"
Margaret.
"Eh?" said Miss Meredith, amazed.
I beg your pardon. I did not know you were near. At least I did not know I spoke at that moment. But pray, what did you desire to know?
"What would you have for supper, sir?"
Oh, whatever you have at hand. Some of what we had for dinner. I think I should like it as soon as you feel disposed to have it. I'm quite ready. I'm quite ready.
"Then we shall have it at once, sir," said Miss Meredith. "I will order it up immediately, for it's later than I intended to have stopped out, but the hour so soon ran away, and there were so many motives to forget the time that was flying so fast." The supper was soon laid out, and the Colonel and Mrs. Meredith alone sat to it, at his earnest request. Indeed, they used to have meals much in common, for the Colonel professed to be very fond of female company, and was desirous of their company, which they translated into a desire for the presence of Marguerite herself. The supper was laid over before the Colonel said anything, but appeared to be absorbed in deep thought, from which it was difficult to arouse him. But at length, after looking around once or twice and not seeing Marguerite at the table, he said to Miss Meredith,
"I hope I have not driven your daughter away."
"Oh, no, sir. She complains of headache, and has gone to bed somewhat earlier than usual."
"I fear I must lay the blame on myself."
"She did not say that you were the cause of her ailment, and therefore I think that you must be free from blame, for she would have said so if it had happened. She generally speaks the truth in such matters, at least, and I believe in every other."
No doubt. But I have been speaking upon a subject that concerns my own happiness to her, and perhaps the excitement may have caused her some evil of that sort. She would not perhaps name it to you, Miss Meredith, but I will. You have been a wife yourself, and know what a few candid words are better and more to the purpose than a long, desultory courtship.
"Yes, sir, certainly so."
There is some difference, too, in our ages. I have not overlooked that matter at all events, but I hope that will not be a cause of impediment or objection.
"It cannot be, sir, in such case as you own, for instance."
Well, then I have proposed for her husband. I wish to make her my wife. I am yet hale and hearty, and have some few years yet which I could wish to pass in happiness, and which I will use to make her happy. And if I unalive early, I have ample means of providing for her, of leaving her a most handsome and ample fortune, not more than she deserves, but possibly more than she might have thought of seeking.
Oh, certainly, sir.
When I wish for your consent to our future happiness.
You may have my good wishes.
You are very good, and I trust your daughter will live long to make you happy by making her own apparent to you.
Of course. This is a rather sudden affair. You will not think of hurrying to a conclusion. Oh, but do permit her to be acquainted with you, and to know her own mind.
Certainly, I do wish it pushed on to a conclusion, but not so much as to cause any dissatisfaction. I am anxious to call her my wife. My feelings are those of an ardent lover.
I do not dispute it.
Still, you and she must be the best judges of all this. You will not, I hope, punish me by compelling me to a longer probation than you are compelled to put me to. I am not like a young man who has a fortune, or rather a living, to earn, but I have one already, a handsome one, and my wife will be a lady of fortune when I pass.
Do not think of passing at such a moment, sir.
Why? It is not desirable?
Said the colonel, who did not deem it necessary to carry the conversation on any further than that night, thinking possibly enough had been said for the first occasion of revealing his passion, and he, no doubt, considered his success signal. The supper then passed off in the usual style, and Mrs. Meredith left the colonel and wished him a good night, with feelings somewhat akin to triumph, and returned to her own daughter's room, there to cogitate the sleep upon what had that evening taken place. The next day she determined to send Mr. Twizzle and arrange the meeting she desired, and at the same time she resolved that she would not push matters to the extremity of making a point of knowing what his property were, for she might lose all. She was convinced that the colonel must be a man of large property. How could such a man live if he were not? That was a speculation that she could not help indulging in. She knew that a man in Colonel Deveril's line of life was quite able to support himself. Besides, the jewels that he had about him were worth a large sum of money. Putting all things together, she considered it was not worth while to lose so good, so excellent an opportunity as the present for making a brilliant, at least an excellent settlement for her daughter, and a home for herself. "Oh, there can be no fear," she muttered. "There can be no fear. Her widow's pension will be better support to her than the livelihood of some." Mr. Twizzle was sent for, and the papers she desired to find for him she was fortunate enough to discover, and laid them by at once. The attorney came willingly enough, and was well pleased when he was informed of the success of the search after the papers, and produced the bond by which she agreed to give him £100 for his assistance in the marriage affair. However, he did not seem to agree with her that she should not be over-particular about the colonel's property. He thought that there must be some inquiries made respecting it, to ascertain if there were any or none. I know, Mr. Twizzle, that is such a fun name. "But," suggested Mrs. Meredith, "the colonel is a kind, but a proud man, and he would probably take great and deep offense at any inquiry being made into his pecuniary affairs." "Hardly, my dear madam. Don't you see, love would be strong enough to counterbalance. He would make some allowance for paternal anxiety and love." "Oh, but there is much reason in all that yet. I have heard so much of these nabobs that one is afraid to lose a good chance by inadvertently touching their weak points, for the kind of society and company they have theirs is so different to what they find here." "Why, yes, that is very true, but we should like to know that it is true. What service has he been in, I think? Though you said the East India Service?" "Yes." "Well, then, I will make some inquiries at the house, and they will answer my inquiries, and no one will ever be the wiser for it. They will at least tell me if there is such a person in the service, and perhaps I can learn something more." Very well, then, that may be done. Will you come round with me to tea this evening, as I will contrive to bring you in to the presence of Colonel Devereux, whom you will then see and converse with. I am not sure of it, but I will try to do so. I will be here, and in the meantime I will make the necessary inquiries. They parted upon this mutual good understanding, and the attorney in high spirits, for the papers were of great value to him, and the promised reward was a stimulus to a greater exertion on behalf of Mrs. Meredith and her daughter.
Now, hearing all of this, which one is the bloodsucker?
For he thought that he could do business for the colonel after this affair was settled. Such an opportunity of increasing his connection did not offer every day. Mrs. Meredith redoubled her assiduity about the person of Colonel Devereux, and at the same time lost no opportunity of putting her daughter forward. Nor was that daughter a bit disinclined to take such an opportunity as was offered her, of making the most of herself on this occasion, to appear amiable, and in some new and languishing position, or to perform some new service for the colonel.
Welcome in, everybody. If you're just joining us, we're reading Varney the Vampire from the 1840s. That's the end of that chapter. The lovely Jennifer is doing the majority of the reading. I'm reading the parts for Colonel Devereux. Totally unrelated to Varney in any way, form, or fashion. And this is about a vampire trying to survive a large number of bloodsuckers that are after his wealth. But I think he's putting himself in that situation by design. Some things, I suppose, never change. How did my cholesterol test go? It went all right. I kind of forgot about it today. Like, I just ate a bunch of butter this morning before I went, so my cholesterol tested much higher than last time because I wasn't fasted. But it wasn't enough to really be of a concern to me. How is the mayor thing going? Yesterday we spent hours in a council study session, hours and hours and hours, watching all of our council members trying to explain away the reason why they spent all the money we don't have on water slides 2 years ago that are still sitting on the ground, and they don't have enough dollars to install the water slides, so they're just out in the sunshine, aging.
Now, I think it would be lovely if, maybe a couple companies stepped up and helped to make sure that those were installed rather than taking it off from the taxpayers.
Like, yeah, that would be amazing.
That would be really cool.
How much money would a company have to be able to donate $2 million towards the completion of those water slides?
Yes, it's quite a bit.
There aren't that many companies that could do that.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, Donna, welcome in. How many kids do we have? We have 2 adults. 22 and 20.
Do we have military discounts for Airbnbs? That's not... if Airbnb and VRBO offer those, then yes.
I don't know if the Airbnb site or VRBO does, but if they do, then yeah, because we don't really have control over how those kinds of things work. You felt like you were back in your literature class in high school. Well, Sherry, that's wonderful. I'm glad we could bring you back to good times. At least I hope it was good times. Here's you some water here. If you need some.
I'm good at the moment.
Okay.
I'm sure we'll finish that one off before it's all said and done.
I'm absolutely certain. I have no doubt.
Oh, we do still eat carnivore.
Yes. Where's the water bottle from?
I bought it from Amazon. It is the ELLO. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
But yeah, it's a glass with a silicone exterior, silicone net exterior.
It helps because she drops things constantly to make the glass not break all the time.
I haven't broken a bottle in a while.
Shane, why did you remove that Grace girl? I did not remove anyone. One of my moderators may have, and we allow almost anything. You can say derogatory things towards me if that makes you feel better, or to a lesser degree towards my wife.
We don't agree with people hurting other people in our chats.
Right, so being disrespectful to other people in my chats, or if you get spammy to where other people's stuff can't be seen, then we will moderate. But other than that, my mods are instructed to allow most things to go on, because there are many ways you can be of help to somebody. I might teach you how to remodel a house or work on a hardwood floor, or I might teach you something about credit, or read you a nice story, and that might make your day better. But there are some people that maybe they're having a miserable time and they don't feel normal, they don't feel good about their lives, and when they see me, they think, well, at least I'm not like that weirdo, and they can say something like that, and it makes them feel better, and it makes them make it through their day. Then by all means, say something like that. Make yourself feel better. I can take it. I'm more than happy to be of service to you if that works good for you. My cholesterol was like 300, 320, something like that. But again, I ate half a stick of butter this morning. I forgot about the test. So
that does affect your total score with
right.
your triglycerides. And to note that your triglycerides vary a lot throughout the day depending on when you ate, how much you ate.
Right.
So it's, for me, I think it's better to go and fasted, and he forgot to not.
So the last time I did it was about 8 months ago, and I was fasted when I did it, and it came in perfect, like spot on, exactly where I want my cholesterol to be. It makes a huge difference, and if the doctors are testing your cholesterol in a non-fasted state and put you on statins and stuff, like, I'm highly suspect of that, because it can easily vary your points by 80 or 100 points if you're fasted or not.
So I'm going in Monday for mine, but I do want to say that's an important thing. Like, we took our blood test last year, and my triglycerides were 65, and his were 63. So there's quite a difference. What was your triglycerides today because you ate all the butter before?
I don't remember.
I think you said 80 something.
Yeah, 80s or 90s.
Yeah, so
I think they were in the 90s.
That raised his total cholesterol by quite a bit.
Right.
So you can do that, though. You can find some people here on the great land of the internet that have done the testing that will do I just ate a meal and now we're going to fast for 8 hours, and they take their cholesterol every hour, and you can see how quickly the triglycerides will rise after you eat and then go down, and it's pretty wild.
Mine was 100 and they want me on statins. I would get a second opinion, Scarlett O'Hara.
Yeah, I would.
Because frankly, I don't give a damn about your doctor. Her name is Scarlett O'Hara.
I know.
I'm sorry.
But still, you gotta watch your verbiage.
Oh, okay.
But 100's pretty low. I feel like. So.
Yeah. That's especially if you saw the study that I shared yesterday.
Yeah, she's definitely going to be running for mayor. Thank you. I think saying it's possible to get a second opinion from a doctor isn't medical advice.
I worked at Miss Anna's, and there's a guy in there. His name is. He's wanting to meet you really bad, and we were talking about how cool you were the other day. Well, send me a message. I'm easy to find on Sunday mornings. Most Sunday mornings, you can find me at the Vault in downtown Van Buren. And anybody in the area can come have brunch with us at 10:30, and we will chit-chat and talk about whatever you like. Or you can work out a private meeting if you'd like to send me a message, and we can hang out.
Will we be getting a property anytime soon? There is a possibility if it's a good enough deal for us. We have a couple properties that we are working on currently, and our project list is kind of starting to get a little bit long. So we want to kind of knock some of those projects off of our list before we get a whole new big project. So that's definitely one of those things.
When is the election for mayor? It won't be till November.
We can only do so much in a day.
Yeah. So the most important part of the whole campaign is going to be starting soon, and that is a petition, which isn't as fun as an election, but it's much more important. So if you are a registered voter in Fort Smith, I need your signature starting probably in about a week. So we're going to be getting 2,600 signatures, and that's what will allow us to truly make a difference in our city.
You don't have to start off eating liver. They do have liver that's dried in capsule form if you want to take it that way, but you don't have to have liver on the carnivore diet.
And you will crave liver after you go carnivore for a while. You will enjoy it much more than you think. I think you. Well, you take the capsules, which is probably what keeps you from getting the craving. If you don't take the capsules, you will want it more than you realize. Like, it becomes a delightful thing.
But I sear his liver for him. I'll just kind of do a little bit on one side and a little bit in the other side, so it's still not like cooked all the way through. He likes it kind of pink in the middle.
So what is how's the hair transplant coming along? Well, I'm getting less itchy, still definitely recovering back here. I mean, They took a scalpel and zigzagged all across the back of my head like crazy, and it's been just about a month, like a month yesterday, since it happened. Still not 100% recovered. I will do an update soon via video. I'm still waiting to kind of get to a point where it makes sense to update and I have new information.
The hardest part about raising kids, oh goodness.
The smell when they're teenagers.
That's pretty bad.
Ugh. Anyway,
I think grounding them is hard because if you set a few things for when they're grounded, there's rules, of course, for the grounding. Having to enforce those rules, like no internet and no TV, and that's not easy because the
Hot chocolate commented.
Wonderful.
Did we miss it?
Oh, I missed it. So, but some teenagers and trying to enforce the things when they're grounded is not an easy thing at all.
What age did our boys get phones? Probably,
I missed their comment.
I would guess
Thank you, Kelly.
14-ish, 13-ish, something like that. We didn't let them get phones too young of an age.
I don't know what they asked. Oh.
We can't answer every question. We have lots of people.
They are our children together.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't spam, though.
I was at the board meeting
Thank
yesterday.
you.
I went live at it, Pamela. So I was trying to keep everybody as informed as possible. So I stayed there through the whole meeting.
So wearing your favorite necklace. Oh, thank you. Yes.
The Aran.
The Aran from Neverending Story. What are our backgrounds? I would say for the most part we're Heinz 57, but I am a member of the Cherokee Nation.
It takes one to know one, Paisan.
Well, you know, it is time for us to continue our
I guess
story.
we need to go on with our next chapter. Remember, tapping over here, we pay off. If you give us enough taps, I will perform some magic for you.
Troll, unfortunately, I'm severely allergic.
Yeah, Jason was there too. 3.5 hours. It was so tiring, so exhausting.
Hello, gorgeous friends.
Do I have any lines in this chapter?
You do.
So we're going to continue reading Varney the Vampire from the 1840s. This story is 50 years older than Dracula.
Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you.
That's a very lovely gift. Thank you so much. You guys are so generous, and that really does help us a lot as creators. Your gifts and all of that really go a long way. So she'll be reading most of the story. I'll read the parts for Varney Colonel Devril. Definitely not the same person as Varney the Vampire at all. I will be reading those parts. He just arranged to marry a young lady, a very young lady, with the mother because he's fabulously rich. It's kind of an Epsteinish situation that's starting to happen, but some things never change.
We will be working out tomorrow if nothing wild happens.
Mm-hmm.
So our regularly scheduled workout time Thursday at 7 p.m. Here we go. When the attorney left the house, he proceeded upon some business of his own, and then he proceeded to the India House for the purpose of making inquiries after the colonel for his friend Mrs. Meredith. In the course of the day, he did go to the India House, and upon making some inquiries, he was sent to a particular department of the house where he saw two gentlemen. "Pray, sir, what do you want?" "Well, I wish to make some inquiries concerning a Colonel Devril, who is employed, or was, in the service in the Honorable East India Service." "In what part was he serving?" "In India." "Oh, but to what presidency did he belong?" "Well, that I do not even know. He has been many years away from England, I understand, and some of his friends have not heard from him for many years, and they are desirous of finding out whether he is unalive or quite alive, and if so, where he is." "Well, there is a Colonel Devril returned this year from India." "Indeed. Do you know anything of him?" "Nothing more than he is retired from the service on his half-pay, some time before he came home, on account of his wounds." "Is he rich?" "I can answer no such question." "Well, I am a solicitor, and I do not ask the question from an improper motive."
For those of you who don't know, a solicitor is another word for a vampire or a bloodsucker or an attorney in England.
In this case, attorney.
Yeah, an attorney.
Let us not confuse the crowd.
It's all basically the same thing. What's the difference?
Well, you may not, sir. You may not, sir, but we cannot answer such a question. We have no inquisitorial knowledge of the private circumstances of those gentlemen who have served in the company's army. But you may put it to your own sagacity to consider how far it would be probable for a man to be placed as regards in rank and opportunity in India without making money. I see. Well, certainly he must. And yet, you know there are means of getting rid of money. Well, to be sure, I see. Not that I have any idea of such can be the case. Indeed, I should be disposed to believe the contrary, seeing the colonel must have been wounded long since, for the last engagement must have been some few years since. Well, thank you. I'll report what I have learned. You do not know where he can be found at this time? Well, no indeed. We have no information. This being all he could learn, he left the India House, and as it was now about time to return to Mrs. Meredith, he at once went back, and having seen all his business transacted, he had now leisure to go there, and in a short time he arrived, and at once related to her all that he had heard respecting the colonel, from the first to the last word of it. Well, said Mrs. Meredith, that at all events is very satisfactory. Why, yes, it is something, to know your man, but as the clerk said, he might have spent it, that is to say, dissipated it. Oh, well, it's impossible. He has been an invalid so long, for quite a long while now. Ah, but there is no knowing what might be done in these cases. Who knows what he may have done? Gambled and diced it away, and entered into extravagant speculations which may have turned out ruinous bubbles. Well, well, Mr. Tidwell, we won't say much about what we might be, said Mrs. Meredith. We won't care about them.
Excuse me.
But I am very much obliged to you for this trouble. It is, however, very satisfactory of a thing to know that he is what he represented himself to be. Yes, that is indeed a great point gained. His veracity having been found unimpeachable in one point may be presumed to be so in another. Ah, Miss Marguerite apparently is present.
Oh.
I shall say that again for the audience. His veracity having been found unimpeachable in one point may be presumed to be so in another, said Marguerite. It appeared to me to be extremely probable, if not quite certain, that he is what he appears to be, and I am glad that all is so far so good. Be that as it may, it will be more satisfactory to know what his property really consists of, and how much there is about it. Oh, no doubt, but it would not be worthwhile to risk anything on that account. He might imagine we were mercenary, and that would disgust him altogether. Well, that is what I am fearful of, said the mother. We may yet have occasion to ask him any question, or to make any inquiries of him for we may be able to worm it all out of him. Well, that is true, said Mrs. Meredith. Dear me, there is the bell. Go, Marguerite, and say that we have an old friend come to tea. Perhaps that he will excuse you, and he may give the invitation that we desire. Marguerite at once departed and proceeded to the colonel's room, and began to wait upon him as usual, but he saw that there was but one cup placed.
Are you not going to take tea with me, Margaret? Am I to be a prisoner and put in solitary confinement for the evening?
Oh, why, Colonel, Mr. Twizzle has called to take tea with my mother, and as he is a very old and particular acquaintance of my father's, I do not like to put a slight upon him.
He is a gentleman, I presume?
Oh, yes, Colonel. He is a member of the profession of the law.
Oh, well, will you ask him to tea with me? As we shall be both united, I hope your friends will soon be mine, and can be no great objection to our acquaintance being earlier. I am not fond of being entirely alone.
If we shall not be intruding upon you, sir, I dare say that my mother will, and I'll tell her of your kindness immediately. In a few moments, Marguerite returned to her mother and the attorney, to whom she related the invitation that she has received from the colonel, and instantly clutched at the idea of going to the colonel to tea, the thing of all others she most desired to do. And at the same time she had calculated upon it, for the colonel appeared to be wholly dependent upon them for society, which he appeared to be passionately fond of there, especially Marguerite. "That is just fortunate. Now, Mr. Twizzle, you will be cautious and do not make any open attempt to discover what may be the peculiar species of property he holds. It may do much mischief, you know." "I am at your mercy," said the lawyer. "If you say so, I will not make any attempt, though I must tell you, Mrs. Meredith, that you will be to blame if you allow your daughter to marry without some inquiry being made, and if he mean well, he will take no offense." "Well, you do what you can without broaching the subject to him. Still, I think that we have heard enough to set all doubts at rest." "I am a professional man, my dear, and I know what the world is, and have had much experience in these matters. However, as I think there is much probability in all he says, why, you shall see that I will not do anything that will offend the nicest delicacy." "That will be all we want, Mr. Twizzle. And now come upstairs." Mr. Twizzle, Colonel Devril, sorry, it's an awkward
It is very
beginning.
strangely written.
"Mr. Twizzle, an old dear friend of my late husband, sir, who is called to visit us,"
I am very happy to see the gentleman,
said the colonel, but with the air of a man who is conscious of his own superiority and that he is committing a condescending act.
"Will you please to be seated? Excuse my rising, sir. I am an invalid, and am lame, but you are welcome."
"I am much obliged," said the attorney, bowing. "My good friend Mrs. Meredith has made me intrude upon you, else I had not done so."
"You are welcome, sir. Pray be seated. I have seen but little company, and am glad now and then to converse with my one. Will you oblige me, Miss Meredith, with making tea for us? Your services are really invaluable." Excuse me.
"Ah, Colonel, you are really too good."
"Not at all, I'm afraid. I am too much in the rear of my march of courtesy since I left England, as our habits and manners in the East are very different to what they are here."
"Ah, I dare say that they live in a style of regal magnificence and splendor."
Yes, more so than you may at first imagine, but more so than in appearance, so much as is difficult for the law at all times to take its course. It becomes a mere a mere unalived letter, and the matter usually ends in some indignity being offered to its servants.
"Indeed, sir, that was dangerous."
Not at all. It was an attorney who, having deputed someone to serve a process, and finding that he could not imagine that it was his fault of the process server, that he determined to make the attempt himself, being well assured that he could succeed. However, he found himself mistaken, for after several disasters that he was led into purposefully, he was well pumped upon by some
Servants?
Oh, I see. Prisoners with jobs,
Mhm.
and thought himself lucky in escaping with life.
"That would never have been permitted here."
No, possibly not, but there are not the distinctions between classes that there are here, and the things are not done on the same scale either, living or in attendance. Wait a second.
The caste system there.
I know, things are no possibility, but there are not the distinctions between classes here. Oh, that there are there. Okay, I misread. I was confused, because India, in this period of time especially, had a very strong caste system.
Mhm.
And yeah, I understand.
I think it's gotten a wee bit better, but not
From what I've heard,
as
but it
good as it
definitely
could
still
be.
exists.
Yes.
All right.
"And yet, people who have passed their lives there come to this country at last. They do not like it well enough to remain there. They come back to the land of their birth, where none of these things exist to fascinate them."
Yes, many live and die there, very many. But at the same time, those who do return do so because it is the land of their birth. because they love the country and because they do there merely to make fortunes. And here they come to spend them.
They don't like the kind of investment, perhaps?
They usually do so, and it fetches a high price, a very high price, and is considered equal to the stocks of the Bank of England.
Well, that is first-rate stock, and on dividend days the place is usually surrounded with strangers who come to town for the purpose of receiving their incomes. Indeed, it is quite an interesting sight to strangers. Have you ever witnessed it? It is well worth the while to go and see it.
I never trouble myself anything about it, but I must be going there by the way tomorrow. I must have a coach.
Do you know the routine of the banking business? It is confusing to one not used to it.
I know enough for my own purpose.
Didn't you find London much altered? Oh, the ladies have decided to jump into the conversation. Didn't you find London much changed? Inquired Marguerite, anxious to give turn to the conversation, as she thought this attorney's conversation would appear as if it were much too pointed. You know, when you first returned to England and came to live here again.
I cannot say much about that, because I was not in a condition to twist about like many men. I am lame.
Exactly. That must have deprived you of much of the pleasure of one feels in surveying an old place in well-remembered spots.
It was. But in a place like London, alterations and additions are not so extensive as to cause any alteration in general features so as to make it perceivable at once. It was only when you come to examine localities that you notice it. You improve and alter parts, but the town is the same, and there is no doubt this appears the work of steady growth, and not any one of sudden effort. Indeed, the very additions to it have a character which stamp it as being London.
Well, there is much truth about that, said the attorney.
It is the same all over the world, and only in these places where the extent is but small, then any great alteration makes a conspicuous and general change, and gives a new character to the place.
As this conversation passed between them, the attorney making one or two delicate allusions to property, and asking his advice respecting to some purchases he wished to make, to all which the colonel made but short and direct answers, and of such character that it was difficult to carry on the conversation upon that topic, at least, and both mother and daughter looked beseechingly at him, so that it was compelled to desist, and found himself completely baffled by what appeared to be the colonel's pride. Well, Mrs. Meredith, said Mr. Twizzle, I have done my utmost with this Colonel Devereux, and I can make nothing of him. Nothing at all, I assure you. You cannot form a bad opinion of him? Oh, no, no. He is at one moment one of the most agreeable men to converse with, and then the next moment he is as frigid and severe. Perhaps pain, or perhaps contempt for anyone else, may induce the alteration in his manner, and no allusion to himself does he make. Oh, don't you think that he is quite the gentleman, and a man used to good society? Oh, yes, I cannot doubt. He has the air of all that he says, but he is going to the bank tomorrow now, and I wonder if it is to receive dividends. Well, I dare say it is, said Mrs. Meredith. I have very little doubt of that, and yet I should very much like to know. It would settle one's mind. Not that I would run any risk about the matter. I would not have him offended for the world. It would be wilfully destroying a chance that is so good that we never can expect it to again arise. Therefore, we must not lose it. Certainly not. I will undertake the matter myself, so that there shall not be any risk in a miscarriage whatsoever. I will take care that nothing shall be done that will be at all likely to reach his ears, or that will be displeasing to him. We will trust to your prudence, Mr. Twizzle. You may do so safely, and depend upon my caution in this matter. Now, I will be at hand in the morning. If I am not here before he goes out, send for me, and let me know the hour. If there is not time to reach here, send me the number of the coach, and I will post off to the bank, and there I will await until to see him come there. I will send you then, and I think it a very good plan. Oops. But what will it do for you if you do see him enter the bank? That will tell you nothing, and I cannot see the utility of it, said Marguerite. Many people go into the Bank of England who do not go there to receive any money for themselves, so that would be inconclusive. It would, but you must remember, I can enter too, and ascertain as to what portion of the building that he goes, and I can learn how much he received, if any. But I must bid you goodbye for the present. Do not forget to send to me at the first blush of the affair, and then much subsequent trouble may be saved. That's the end of the chapter.
How interesting. So, what do you think, dear? Is she reading right to left, or is the camera flipped? It's much easier for us to perform for you with a mirrored camera. It makes it much more like seeing ourselves in the mirror. So yes, right now you are seeing us flipped. If it seems like she's reading backwards, that is why. Unless you are on the Zuckerberg platform. I'm glad that you guys enjoy watching us, and thank you so much, everybody, for coming out and hanging out with us. We've probably got another chapter in this. What do you
We
think?
do have another chapter, yes.
Good, good, good.
I do, however, wish to have a drink of water, please, sir.
Oh, darling, you asked so
Thank you.
politely.
I feel like I might have a little frog.
I was starting to get a slight little frog in my throat as well.
I'll let you talk for a few moments.
Certainly. Yes, we're going to do one more chapter. We're almost to 100,000 taps, so I guess I'll perform some magic before we take our next break. And, no, we don't drink wine. How long have we been together? Let's see. I suppose 25 years. You want me to do the sword swallowing trick? I haven't done that one in a long time.
TikTok does not like that one.
Nope, that one, the social media sees it as too dangerous, and so they always get me in trouble if I perform that one now.
They don't like that.
I've never air fried a steak.
I have heard they're very delicious. I don't have exactly an air fryer. What I have is a kind of a glass induction cooker. Is it induction? Infrared?
I don't know. Like you're talking about kitchen stuff. That's your land, not my land. You know, this land is your land. This land is my land. The kitchen is your land.
Thank you.
The other stuff is my land.
I do spend a bit of time in the kitchen from time to time. Hello. Your mama technology consultant.
What kind of salt do I have in this water? This is a mixture of potassium, sodium, and magnesium salts. So it gives me most of the minerals that I need.
Word.
Are you okay, babe? Your throat and your frog in your throat bothering you some more?
A little bit.
You're sounding a little off, so. That sounds very froggish.
Does it? It makes me think of Dot and the Kangaroo. They had these 3 little frogs on a log, and they were singing about it. When you're a frog on a log.
You should probably save your voice a little bit, but I do appreciate listening to you sing. Can't salt water cause vomiting? If it's brine, it can induce it a little bit. We got to 100,000, so I suppose it's time for a magic trick. And I think I've got something that's just right for you here. Darling, you really aren't feeling well. Okay. Oh. No wonder. I'm going to help you. Oh, man. You poor dear. Oh. Look at that. Isn't that sad? Oh. No wonder you feel bad. Oh. I love you. I hope I'm helping. Oh. Are you all better now?
Wow, that feels so much better.
Oh, that's gross. Here, you can have that back.
No wonder I sounded froggy.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to do a magic trick for you now that that is done. This is very simple. All you need to do is pay attention and I'll kind of teach you how it works. So what we have here is a tube with a string that's connected from the green to the yellow. See, very simple. You can look here and you can see where the string goes through and how the yellow one and the green one move. So imagine that string going across there, nice and simple. Now the red one and the green one are also connected. So make sure you pay attention. Red and green are connected. Green and yellow are connected. Okay? Now the yellow one and the purple one are connected as well. So yellow and purple, just like that. Yellow and green, green and red. Okay, but if you're not paying attention completely, you might miss the fact that the red one and the green one, or the red one and the yellow one are connected. See, red, yellow, just like that. Some of you are starting to figure out how this works. Some of you, it may take more, purple and green are connected. Purple and yellow, purple and yellow, purple and green, just like that. Yellow and green, red and yellow. Red and purple are also connected. I don't think we did that one yet. So red and purple, red and green, yellow and green. Look at that. Okay, now one of the things some of you may have kind of figured out how this works, but I always find it helps if I just pull it apart so you can see. So if you look right now, you'll discover that they're not connected at all.
Still hurts your brain.
Does the magnesium relax you? Maybe slightly. If you don't have enough magnesium, it can definitely be difficult to sleep.
Can we do ASMR? I was actually thinking about doing some ASMR coming up with shoes.
Shoes ASMR. I'm going to go fetch you some more water so that your throat won't have any more problems. I'll be right back, boys and girls.
So yes, Hot Chocolate Design contacted me and they're going to be sending me some shoes. And I definitely want to show off my hot chocolate shoe collection, but here's one of my pairs of hot chocolates. See the little bat? The bat's adorable. I love the little bat. But I've always been a big fan of strawberries. In fact, that's the only, not the only, but that is one of the very few things that I will still have an indulgence in. Every once in a while I'll have some strawberries. So there's a bat hugging onto a strawberry. So it's bats and strawberries. Super cute. Makes me happy. So they do vary in price, but you can check them out. They're here in TikTok land. If you want to check out Hot Chocolate Design, you can see the shoes. I'm hoping that you're just enjoying being here. We're having a good time. Send you a pair, aw. But they're sending me a pair of shoes and I'm so excited. So I'm definitely wanting to show off the cool shoes. But I also need to, I've had several pairs of my hot chocolate shoes for a while. And so I'm going to have a washing day. I'm going to have a washing day of my hot chocolates and show you guys how to wash them. So I think it's fun. They're super fun. When is the next workout live? That should be tomorrow. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central, we will be working out. What do I eat? Mostly meat, but I do have the occasional strawberry. Did Shane find all the spiders? No, he did not find all the spiders. In fact, my cleaning crew had already gone in and cleaned up some of the spiders before he got there. They left some of the funny ones, but they had cleaned up the ones that we had to have picked up for people to be able to spend the night.
All right, I am back.
Thank you.
Here, have some water.
He did get his cholesterol levels back, and he had forgotten that he was going to be taking a test this morning and had eaten.
So
it was not a fasted test.
According to my friend, apparently there are many different forums online talking about me running for mayor after our city council meeting yesterday that we were at. So I actually still am technically blocked on Zuckerberg's platform, so I can't go into any of those forums to look at what people are saying. It's a very strange feeling to have people talking about me all over the town on that platform. And I know you're seeing me on it. I can post content, but I can't actually look at anybody's content.
And he can only post to the Shane is Great.
Only to the Shane is Great, yes.
So if you're seeing if you're on the Zuckerberg's platform and you're seeing his stuff anywhere but that's kind of
Yep.
Sus.
Yep.
How is our son? He's doing pretty good.
Yeah, he's doing well. I talked to him earlier. He's got several different job interviews he's done this week and a couple possibilities of possibly getting a job finally by Friday.
This is electrolytes in the water.
Salt.
So salt, magnesium, and potassium.
You ready to continue reading?
Just a moment longer. I was talking the whole time you were gone.
Okay, well then I'll chit-chat. She's amazing. She puts a lot of work into the voices, and it definitely does push her throat and voice to the limit, which is why we have a short period of time that we actually do this for. What do you have there? More hot chocolates. Look at that. It's got skulls on it. We don't need no death skulls. Oh, unalive skulls. That brings back memories of my younger years. Reggie, hello. Welcome in. When does the movie come out? It's scheduled to come out in October. What kind of jobs will we be looking into? There's all different kinds of jobs. You were wondering why you never got answered about what? Oh, from me about things. Yeah, I literally can't post. So any of those forums, I can't say anything. It's really strange. Does my wife have one? Yes, you'll see her commenting on the posts whenever I comment for the chat. It'll be through her account. You can make sure to follow. He wants my autograph. I gave my first autograph to someone last week, and I wasn't happy with the way we're setting it up yet. So once I get it set up to a better way, I may put some autographs out that would be available. I'm glad you enjoy our content, and I'm glad we can be different from what most everybody is creating out here. What are we drinking? It is salt water. So sodium, magnesium, and potassium salts mixed into water. You know a guy in the 90s that looks so similar to me. Well, I existed in the 90s. It's possible it was me. How are we doing? We are doing well. Thank you for asking. Tell me about what he collects, or tell me about, I work with, he collects sunken, I think you're meaning shrunken heads. Yes, I'm running for mayor of Fort Smith, Arkansas. Well, if you send me stars on Zuckerberg's platform, that does monetize for me, but that's the only monetization I have. Right now, the best platform to follow me on if you want to help me as a creator is definitely TikTok. And there we have almost 500,000 followers.
This is Varney the Vampire. It was written in the 1840s as a penny dreadful. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad you enjoy my voice, Jean. Thank you. Sadie, thank you so much.
We're going to continue our story. The peculiar position of Mrs. Meredith and her daughter Marguerite, in some measure, and to great degree, tied their hands and caused the corresponding desire to know more than what was told them. At the same time, they were fearful of giving any offense to their new and wealthy lodger. They were both avaricious. That's a nice word.
Avaricious.
They were both avaricious and designing to make a good settlement was the grand object of their lives, and to that object they would sacrifice themselves, at least sacrifice Marguerite, who by the by would consider it no sacrifice at all, but a great stroke of good luck. However, they could do nothing of themselves. They saw that there was a great and glorious chance for the future. They felt that they had entangled the colonel. They felt that he had become a victim to their snares, and that they were unwilling that they should run any risk of failure to their plans. If we offend him, He may consider us avaricious and designing, they argued, and that might prove too strong an antidote to even an old man's love, and the prize might be snatched out of our hands, and we might not only lose a rich husband, but a good lodger also. These considerations induced them to act more warily and cautious than the attorney, Mr. Twizzle, who was anxious at once to seize the bull by the horns, and to come to an explanation, and thus save himself much labor and time, for the sooner there was an explanation, the better. And he did not apprehend the result that they did. He believed it would be only appear proper caution on the part of a mother. They did have differing opinions, and between the two there was an indecisive policy adopted, which occasioned delay and uncertainty. Delay and uncertainty. There was no doubt but the colonel meant matrimony. His infirmities were of no consequence. It was not the man but the money that was wanted, and which was sought with perseverance and consistency. They appeared negligent of money matters before the colonel, and when he paid them, which he did regularly, he always appeared to have money about him, which of course increased their respect and gave them increased confidence in him. "It is very well, Ma," said Marguerite, "but Mr. Twizzle must not offend Colonel Devril. He is evidently a man much above him. His actions and manner are such that at once stamp him immeasurably his superior. Now, as regards to this property, there can be no doubt but he must have enough." "I think so too, my dear, but it would be a dreadful thing if it should turn out otherwise in the end. It would really be dreadful. I should never survive it." "Oh, nor I, Mother." "What is to be done? Oh, I declare I am at my wits' end." "There is no fear, Ma. Do you not remember that Mr. Twizzle himself has found out that he is Colonel Devril, and that he has retired from the army of the company?" "Indeed, my dear, that is correct. I had forgotten that, quite forgotten it. But it may so happen that he has no money at all, and he may have spent it all." "He does not appear to be extravagant. He is returned upon his half-pay, which you know must be a very good living, and I am sure of a widow's pension, if nothing more. And besides, I am sure from what he has said that there must be money." "Well, I think so too, my dear, and I think that it will be better that things should go on as the colonel desires. To lose him would be horribly aggravating." "So it will, Ma, because I am sure that he will do justice. It is not like as if we had money too, and were willing to have our affairs investigated, as we are to investigate his." "That is very true, my dear, very true. And Mr. Twizzle does not seem to know that I will tell him when I see him. By the way, I must send to him to tell him the colonel is going out in about an hour. If he can find out anything without compromising us in the affair, why, he may do so, and welcome, for you must acknowledge it will be all the more satisfactory." "Oh, yes, I admit that, but I would not wilfully lose a good opportunity." "I must now send off to him. Mary must go, and that too as quickly as she can, for I shall want her back again very soon, so she must run." "The sooner she goes, the better." Mary was sent to Mr. Twizzle's, who happened to be at home at that time, and judging that Mary had been a good time on the road, that there would be no time to go to Mrs. Meredith's house, and then to follow the coach. So he determined to go to the bank at once, so that he would be there in time and to see the colonel descend and enter the bank, and into which he would follow. He sent word back to Mrs. Meredith that he would go on and see her as soon as he could, and then he made the best of his way towards the bank, where he arrived in good time. Indeed, half an hour before the colonel, who did not set out as soon as he intended. "Now," thought Twizzle, "if he were to turn out all right, why, I shall be in good fortune. But if bad, it would be laid upon my shoulders. They shall not say that I have not given them attention enough for their money, and if I don't do something, they will say that I haven't earned my money. And though I can enforce payment of the bond, yet It may hurt my future prospects with regard to my future connection with the family, which I hope to make a profitable one in the long run. Filled with these thoughts, he determined to watch with due caution for the arrival of the colonel on the other side of the way. It was some time before the coach drove up, which it did after a considerable lapse of time, and then Mr. Twizzle crossed over and placed himself in a position by the lamp-post, where he could obtain a good view of anyone passing in and out of the coach. "'Tis he," he muttered, as he saw the colonel step out of the carriage and walk into the bank, very leisurely and quietly, leaning upon his stick and walking lame. He watched him into the bank, and he saw him go some distance down the passage, and then he muttered, "Now I will follow him up closely." And after a moment's pause to permit someone to pass him, he then darted down the passage into a kind of yard. But no, he could not see him. He was not there. And yet he was so lame that he could not have got out of sight so soon as all of that.
Ah,
I'm sleeping on this.
sleeping on that instead of your
No.
bed? What an interesting thing.
He just took my exercise mat.
And said that he is sleeping on it. I don't understand what my son's intentions are. Alright, sorry for the distraction, dear.
"He's gone to the dividends office," he muttered. "I shall find him there." And away he posted to that department. But he could not find him. He was not there. Then what could have become of him? That was a point that he could not solve. "Well, this is very, very odd," he muttered. He paused to think over the matter, but that did not aid him. He was in the dark, but thought it was no use in waiting in any one place, so wandered about from office to office until he came to the body of the place, where he waited until someone came up to him and touched him on the shoulder. He turned round and at once perceived that it was an officer. "What do you want with me?" inquired Twizzle.
"What is your business here?"
returned the officer by way of reply. "Well, I am here upon my own business. I am at a loss to understand what you mean by asking me such a question in a public place. What can you mean by it? I was never asked such a question before, and cannot see why you should do so now."
"Well, excuse me, sir, I have ample warrant for what I'm doing."
Pardon me. I got confused.
Oh,
Hmm.
a rare mistake.
Mhm.
"Well, excuse me, sir, I have ample warrant for what you're doing."
Have you? I did it again. I messed them up.
Ah.
Bless you.
Oh!
Bless you.
Excuse me.
I have ample warrant for what I'm doing.
"Well, have you now? Then state it."
Easily. See, I've gotten confused again.
Because of my sneeze?
Perhaps.
"I followed you about this last half hour, and you've been wandering about the place for some time and looking about you in a manner that has excited a good deal of suspicion, to say the least of it. I must have some satisfactory explanation."
Well, you can have that, replied Mr. Twizzle, very much annoyed. You can have any explanation that you require. I am very sure that I came here on my own affairs. What other explanation can you require?
"Well, your affairs may be ours also, and the explanation that you have given will be just enough to justify my taking you into custody. So if you have no more to say, I must request the favour of your company. That's my card of invitation, do you hear, sir?" Why, yes, I do, and I am an attorney at law, and you may depend upon it that I will not be content without punishing you for this indignity. I came here because I saw a friend called whom I wanted to speak. "Well, where is he?"
I don't know. I have missed him.
"Well, very likely, and your friend will miss you for a short time, for you must come with me. You had been found here without being able to give any account of yourself."
Well, I tell you that I came here to see Colonel Devril.
"Well, what do we know of Colonel Devril? We don't know anything about him, nor you either. You must come with me. We are obliged to be very particular when we see strangers walking about with no object whatsoever in view. It's very suspicious, very suspicious.
Well, but I tell you that I'm a respectable attorney, a professional man.
A respectable attorney. That's funny.
I had no bad object in view.
That may be as you say, but you must come with me.
Seeing that there was no help for it, Mr. Twizzle resigned himself into the officer's hands, and followed him to the station house, where he was examined by the inspector, at the place where he was taken.
Well, sir,
Said the inspector,
this may be all very true, but we must have some proof of what you assessed. Then we can let you go.
well, I'll have a complaint against you.
You may, but you must prove not only that what you say is true, but that there is no cause for suspicion, and that you were not loitering about in the bank as the officer asserts you were.
The attorney thought that it would be quite unnecessary to get into the public prints, because it would do no good for him to make use of Colonel Devrill's name, and that he had already done. What was he to do? He had got into a very disagreeable scrape, out of which he must now get in the best manner possible, and which he could not see his way clear to do. Well, what do you want me to do?
We need you to give us some proof that you are the person to whom you represent yourself to be,
He replied.
Then we can let you go at once.
Then I will give you my card, said Twizzle, producing his card case.
That is no proof,
Said the constable.
A man might have robbed you of your card case, and you would have someone passing himself off for yourself.
Well, what should I do then? Inquired Twizzle.
Send for someone who knows you, or to send for your own clerk. That will do.
Ah, that I can do at once, replied Twizzle, and he at once wrote a note to his clerk and gave it unsealed into the hands of the constable, and asked if there was anyone who would go with it.
You can send the messenger. There are many who will do that if you pay them for it,
replied the constable,
and in another minute, for the sum of half a crown,
and in another minute, for the sum of half a crown, a messenger agreed to take the letter to his office and deliver it to his clerk, and waited for him. This was done, and until that time he was locked up in a cell, where he had light certainty, but in which he had no other comfort at all. But in about an hour and a half there was the prospect of a relief, for he saw his clerk come into the station house, and with him the messenger, who came to the constable and said that it was Mr. Twizzle's clerk.
Well, do you know Mr. Twizzle?
Inquired the constable.
Yes, I do. He is my employer. Then point him out, said the constable.
At that moment Mr. Twizzle was brought in, and he at once pointed him out with satisfaction of the constable, who, with an admonition, consented to the enlargement of Mr. Twizzle, and, in answer to his threat of future investigation, said to him,
You see, sir, the bank is such a place that we are compelled to keep all persons out who have no business there, and it must not be a place where people meet to have no particular banking business to do or transact. Do not wait about, then, for the future, sir, else you may run the same danger.
Mr. Twizzle left the station house with a feeling very much akin to anger, and he walked home with a very disagreeable feeling. He felt that he had been baffled, and had been also much ill-used and very much affronted. "Where could he have got to?" he murmured. "He must have turned into some of the offices. Oh, confound him, I wish he had taken it into his head to tumble. I'm sure that he ain't no good. If he were, I'm sure that he ain't no good, and if he were, I should not have been placed in such an unpleasant position." Suddenly, he recollected that there was no necessity for going home, unless there had been anything happened since his departure. Upon being informed that such was not the case, he determined to alter his course and proceed to Mrs. Meredith's, and relate the misfortunes that had befallen him. "And if that don't satisfy her, I have an interest at heart why, nothing will." And he left his clerk, after giving him some directions, and then turned off towards Bloomsbury Square, where he arrived just at tea time.
Thank you so much for working so hard to read us a lovely story. Have some salt water.
Thank you. I did get confused a couple times this chapter.
Nina, that's very interesting. If you want to send me a message about that, I would appreciate that very much.
Hi, Nina.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What type of MMA do I do? So I trained ITF, Tang Sudo, Jiu Jitsu, and Sambo primarily, but on top of that, I've done Muay Thai and various other martial arts.
The old radio shows.
So those would be
yes.
the four primary ones.
The old radio shows were very fun.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I'm chilled.
You poor cold thing.
Mhm.
I need to turn it up in here for you even more.
The doors gotten opened
Oh.
and let out our lovely heats.
She is a very delicate thing. Like if you've ever had an exotic pet, you have to keep it just the right humidity, just the right temperature. Otherwise, they kind of shut down. She's the same way.
Oh, I'm glad you like our painting. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy us. Thank you so much. I can read 2 out of 3 of the monitors decently.
Mm.
That last one is very
Yeah,
tiny
that one
print.
I can't make it any bigger, unfortunately, the way the platform works.
We did get our luggage back.
The mayor part is a big deal, Angela, yes, but what's going to be more important than me running for mayor is the petition we're going to start pushing next week. That is the real key to changing Fort Smith for the better.
Thank you, yes. Kelly made these. If you're on the TikTok and you see Kelly, you should friend her because she makes pretty jewelry pieces.
If you want to know what's inside the coffin, come stay at the Vampire's Den. You can find a link on my TikTok bio. So how is the buying on those homes that owed taxes? That's been a long time ago. We didn't manage to get any of the tax homes last year, but that doesn't mean we won't try again and possibly get some this upcoming year.
Hola.
You live in Mexico. It's so far. It's not that far. I've driven to Mexico from here before, and so have you, haven't you?
We can make a difference. We can make a change. We can make the world a better place. Make it a better place.
Oh, apparently it's getting close to bedtime, isn't it?
Yes, we're going to have to get ready for bed and all that lovely stuff.
The Georgia girl.
Hello, Georgia girl.
I love you guys very much.
Well, I don't think we can drive to Australia. We would have to take an airplane or a very slow boat.
We could drive on one of those old cars that would become a boat, potentially.
That'd be a long time in one of those to get to
that-
Australia.
That would be. That would be. Thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us while we read some classic vampire stories to you. We will be back next Wednesday. Make sure to follow if you haven't followed. I'll be producing some new content tomorrow, and I just can't tell you how humbled I am to have so many of you that hang out with us every week. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for joining us. Should probably go from this direction first, because now they're just getting your big arm on here.
You don't think they like my arm?
They might like your arm.
Some people are into arms. Well,
An amphibian vehicle, yes.